Here's a psychological trick in order for you to attract and manifest anything that you want using the law of attraction. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. I'm wishing you an amazing day, and let's dive right into this video. Number 1, speak only of it in the present tense. Now, there's a passage in the Bible, and it says something to the effect of, "To those that have, more will be given, and to those who have not, even that which they have will be taken away from them." What does that mean? When you're in the consciousness of having, you will attract more. And when you're in have not consciousness, I don't have, even that which you have will be taken away from you. So you must assume the feeling of what you want already fulfilled. You must live in your mind as if you already have what you want. Now, there's actual science behind that too. Every time you have a thought, what happens is you have a chemical reaction in your brain and you fire brain cells. Every time you have a thought or an emotional reaction, that's what happens. You fire brain cells and have a chemical reaction. There's a term in neuroscience called Hebb's law that says that brain cells, nerve cells that fire together, they wire together. So your brain is made up of neurocircuitry. The actual brain cells are wired in certain ways. So when you have habitual thought patterns, whether they're real or not real, true or not true, you wire the neurocircuitry in your brain that way so your brain can habitually fire that way. Does that make sense? So what that means is people that have been told or believe forever that they weren't good enough, they weren't smart enough, I have this problem, it's wired into your brain. So the reason that people have difficult times breaking habits and behaviors and lifestyles is because it's wired into their brain. Now, the crazy thing is, it doesn't matter whether a thought is real or not real. It will wire into your brain if you habitually use that. So get this, you can literally write your brain the way you want it to be written before the events and the future outcomes that you want have happened. I'll say that again. You can wire your brain in a way to a reality that has not happened yet, and thus by wiring that way, you create the reality that has not happened. Now, there's also your subconscious mind. Psychologists say we have 95% of our thoughts and actions being subconscious. They're unconscious and they're habitual. And the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. So today, here's what I invite you to do. Talk only in the present tense about what you want. If you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, a roommate, a great friend, start a practice. Ashley and I, my wife and I, call it oogling. And so what we do is we talk only in the present tense about what we want. And we spend time going back and forth. Man, I'm so grateful that this has happened and you're living in this place and you have this experience and this thing before it's happened. Now, it's going to be difficult probably at first, because what you'll notice is in the same way you're conditioned to only use one hand when you write. Like, let's say you're a righty and I said, you write your name 400 times with your left hand. It'd be really difficult to do that, right? Because it's a paradigm, it's a habitual pattern, so it's hard to do that right away. Well, we have a habitual pattern to only talk about what is. In order to trick your mind and retrain your brain, you have to talk about what you would like to happen as if it's already happened. So it may be difficult, but start the practice of talking to yourself and talking to everyone around you in the present tense, as if what you want has already happened. What'll happen is you'll start to push yourself into a new reality, and you'll trick and train your brain and your subconscious mind to create that reality for you. Number 2, put a do not disturb sign on your imagination. Do not let a single person enter your imagination and your mind, unless it's in alignment with the reality that you want to create. Put a do not disturb sign on the center of your imagination. Don't let anyone in. When somebody says something that's contrary to what you want to and you intend to manifest, you just simply say this: Thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. I appreciate you, I love you, but that's not part of my belief system. You're the one that gets to decide your belief system, and your belief system is what's going to create your bank account, what's possible in your career, your health, your happiness, the adventures that you take in life. Put a do not disturb sign on your imagination and say this phrase and comment it down below. Thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. Comment that down below. That's the biggest takeaway from this video. Thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. Comment that down below. And if you have difficulty with that, download my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com. It's a success hypnosis I created for myself 6 years ago to rewire my brain from all the subconscious thoughts of limitation. And you can use that. It's free, jakeshypnosis.com. Comment down below. Thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. Number 3, last but not least, hypnotize yourself to train and prime yourself to live in the reality you intend to manifest. Now that's a lot of things. Obviously, in literally speaking, hypnotize yourself, download my success hypnosis, but everything is hypnotism. So get this, there's billions of bits of information happening every single second. So like even right now in the other room, my fan is going on. And I could get distracted by my fan, and I could put my attention on the sound of my fan, and that could take my primary attention, but it would mess me up for making these YouTube videos, right? And there might be some other sound, some other distractions going on in your life right now in this very second that if you wanted to put your consciousness on them, then you would tune out my words and you wouldn't hear what I'm saying, right? So there's billions of bits of information happening every second. We have a part of our brain called our reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain that engages your senses in the way that you focus your attention so that the billions of bits of information get drowned out by your conscious mind so that you can perceive the external stimuli, the environmental stimuli that's most conducive to your intentions. In other words, you block out all this other stuff and your brain and your senses perceive only what's most pertinent to you. Now, what's happening at the same time though is your subconscious mind is picking up the rest of the environment. So even though you're consciously focusing on one thing, your subconscious is starting to actually fill up with all these other things. And that's happening all the time, right? So it's like people in the other room, your parents in the other room when you were younger arguing about money. That infiltrated your subconscious mind. All these things are happening. So what I invite you to do is pick 3 things you can do to start to auto-suggest unconsciously the images and things you want to create in your life for yourself. Now this is a form of hypnotism in everyday life. You could start with my success hypnosis, but pick 3 other things. So whether that's you want to manifest more money and you print out a giant $100 bill off of Google that's like 4 feet big and you put it on your ceiling, and every morning you wake up and you say this phrase, thank you that God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. That's one way to hypnotize yourself. So every time you come into your room, what starts to happen is you see that phrase or you see that huge $100 bill, and then what happens is you start to say every single time, thank you that God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. Or you could take a $100 bill and wrap it around the rest of your money, so every time unconsciously you're seeing the $100 bill. You could do the same thing by doing an image with you and your soulmate or your dream car, or you sit in your car that you don't want anymore for 5 minutes every single day and you imagine your hand on the steering wheel of your favorite car that you really want. Pick 3 things like that and have those an everyday part of your life where they're just auto-suggested to you in the same way that advertisers do subliminal messaging on the screens to like try to get you to buy like a Coca-Cola in the movies while you're sitting there watching the movies or whatever, and it flashes onto the screen really quick. You're going to use that subliminal aspect in order to hypnotize yourself. So pick a couple things, set them up in your room, your car. It could be a sticky note that says, I'm so grateful now that I'm earning X amount of dollars a month. I'm so grateful now that I've attracted my soulmate. I'm so grateful I have my dream job and I'm living in San Diego. And you take the index card and you tape it on your steering wheel. So every time you get in, even if you're not consciously reading it, you're subconsciously picking up that information. And you let that have a residual compounding effect. And what happens is your unconscious mind starts to get conditioned for an environment that hasn't happened yet, according to your physical senses, but you're unconsciously conditioning yourself to a future environment, and what happens is you start to live into that reality. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. I can't wait to hear about the unconscious hypnotism ways that you set up in your own life. Download my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com, right there down below. Hit the subscribe button right over there and the bell notification. The bell notification is what notifies you for new videos, so make sure that you hit that. Comment down below, thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. Thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. Get that drilled into your head that you have the free will to decide whatever thoughts and beliefs and perceptions enter your belief system. You don't have to accept other people's limitations. Have a beautiful day. Hit the bell notification because that's what notifies you for new videos. And thank you for watching.